I'm going solo for this one, as tomorrow night, TNA on TNA Plus on their TNA Plus app hosts their February show, No Surrender 2024, live from the Alario Center in West Wego, Louisiana, essentially suburban New Orleans. So far, 8 matches are on the card. We kick it off with a pre-show match. The System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers with Eddie's wife Alisha versus the Intergalactic Jetsetters, Kevin Knight and Kushida. This should be an interesting tag match, as at varying points or other, all 4 men you can stigmatize as tag team wrestlers. Kevin Knight and Brian Myers especially, since that's where most of their successes come, as tag team wrestlers. Kushida and Eddie have at least broken out occasionally to be prominent singles competitors at varying points in their career. Kushida, a multi-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Eddie Edwards, a former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Inaugural ROH World Television Champion. 2-time TNA World Champion. X Division Champion. First ever Gaijin to win the GHC Heavyweight Championship. You get the idea. I'm going to give this to the System, as far as I'm concerned. Chris Sabin defending the X Division title against Mustafa Ali. I don't know if Ali has officially signed with TNA. I mean, he didn't have it easy going in the WWE when the WWE had him, wasted a load of his potential, and Vince can go fuck himself for that. Pardon my mouth, but you get the point. I'm going to give this to Sabin to retain. No, that's not how I had it sorted out on the card. What I had next on this was the Decay, Havok, and Rosemary defending against the Knockouts tag titles against the former champs MK Ultra, Masha, Slammovich, and Killer Kelly. Now the roles are reversed in terms of who's the face team, who's the heel team. And this is a match that'll frighten me. That said, I'm going to take the Decay mostly out of familiarity. I think after almost a decade, they've kept the name of Decay alive. Anyway, PCO versus Khan. 2 monsters about to collide. I'm going to take PCO to win this. Josh Alexander against Simon Gotch. I'm actually going to go Gotch in this one. Imagine Matt Rahal, a.k.a. the former English, and Gotch's former tag partner in the Vaudevillians, somehow manages to get involved in this and screw over Alexander. It would be interesting to see that play out. Would it not? For the Knockouts title, Jordynne Grace defends against GIselle Shaw. Okay, I'm going to be blunt. Anyone who remembers my Hard to Kill video? Now, I am not saying this to the entire, the Megamet podcast episode revolving around Hard to Kill last month. I am going to be blunt. Yes, I know I'm being a dead horse about my aversion from transgender individuals. Specifically, transgender men, people who start off as men and then get the surgery to become women. I mean, I have the same aversion of women who turn into men. Don't get me wrong. But that's mostly because I feel sorry for the fact that they allowed an inferiority and insecurity complex to mess with their heads, to think that they could be that just because they got bullied as their base gender, they can change genders and bully the other sex in one way or another. With a woman becoming a man, it's in brain power, with brains, and with men becoming women, it's brawn. But I do not hate the LGBT community. I mean, I have a sister, a baby sister who's a lesbian, a younger cousin who's gay, a friend who I think is a gay Buddhist, an old classmate who I believe is a gay Buddhist. He was originally a Jew, but he switched to Buddhism after he moved to Vegas. For those wondering. But then again, I haven't had contact with him in years. In over 20 years. In over 25 years or so. Or many of my old classmates. But my point is, should the Shaw entourage turn on GIselle? Will Jordynne be able to fight him off? I mean, I know that the new... And this is the first pay-per-view. This is the first TNA major show, PLE, without Scott D'Amore at the helm. But my pick, and if this guy who's now running it is the overkilled Wokey, my head is screaming he's going to give it to GIselle. Which is something I do not want. I.e., he's going to give the title to Shaw. Which is something I don't want. I'm going to take Jordynne Grace to retain tomorrow night. The Juggernaut needs to continue to be a Juggernaut. Next up, Asa, the final match in a best-of-3 series for the TNA World Tag Team titles. Chris Bay and Ace Austin, the ABC, defend against the GYV, Grizzled Young Vets, James Drake and Zach Gibson. If there are any belts that are in danger of changing hands tomorrow night, it's either going to... The belt that is most likely to switch hands, to me anyway, is either going to be the X Division title, or the more logical case scenario, it's going to be the TNA World Tag Team titles. And under those situations, especially with Ace Austin coming in with a banged up shoulder, I'm going to give this to GYV. They're walking in challengers, but they're walking out the new TNA World Tag Team Champions. Finally, the main event. A no-surrender rules match for the TNA World Heavyweight title. This match cannot end by a submission unless the cornermen throw in the towel. For Moose, he'll have the rest of the system, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers in his corner. For Alex Shelley, he'll have the Intergalactic Jetsetters, Kevin Knight and Kushida, in his. It's pinfall only. It's pinfall or towel submission only in this one. And in my view, it's too soon to take the belt off Moose. So I will take Moose to walk in and out of Westwego, still the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And since I'm talking about TNA, I might as well address the elephant in the room. Anthem, what the hell were you thinking getting rid of Scott D'Amore? A guy whose knowledge has been vital and has been a main cog in the machine of this promotion since he arrived in 2003. First as a manager, then he became a producer, then he became an executive vice president. This is the guy that has worked his way up the ladder and earned the respect of all the guys and gals in the back, and broke his back for this company for over 2 decades. And you decide to get rid of him. Why, Anthem? Because he wanted to bring the events to bigger venues? I was actually wanting him to do that, you sons of bitches. Do you know, Anthem, how long it's been since TNA Impact has come to my neck of the woods? Almost 10 years. mean, it's been roughly 10 years since TNA came to the Carolinas. 10 effing years. From 2010 up until 2015, the Cabarrus Arena and Event Center was used for TNA live house shows and even got to host Bound for Glory in 15. I was there that final night. The last time TNA came to my neck of the woods. I mean, I ran into Tommy Dreamer last year and begged him to ask Scott to get a show to come back to the Carolinas. Because when I was at the Gathering last August. It's no wonder the locker room is going into full-blown mutiny against the establishment. Do I blame them? No. Are they justified? Yes. So either you want to limit damage control, rehire D'Amore. Rehire Coach D'Amore. That's it for tonight. Comment, share, like, subscribe. This is Mex2128 signing out. Goodbye. Good effing night. Bang.